So Arush obviously was the guy.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. So he called me. He's like, "Aage gaadi?" I was like, "Haan." He's like, "I'm ordering the parts." So he somehow was very, happy for my cars at least when I used to get him. I am ordering the parts, and I had a very good comfort level with him because he never used to ask me for payment like, "आगे payment दे दो." So my scene was Arush के साथ that गाड़ी आ गई, parts लग गए, 50,000 रुपए दे दो, आगे चलो, थोड़े टाइम बाद थोड़ा और दे देंगे, थोड़े टाइम बाद थोड़ा. Arush was very like it was very comfortableness was there. So he ordered, and I swear when I say this, I did not know what he ordered. He called me, he said, "I have ordered parts. They will come in a month. You go to Kashmir if you want to, come back and we fit them." I said, "What did you order?" "No, that's up to me." So we had that comfort level. That I was like, okay.
I can imagine you constantly thinking about your wallet at that time.
I was like, okay. I was like, शायद मंगाया नहीं मंगाया मेरे को ये चाहिए. He's like, let me do this car.
Part 2 with Kabir Sheikh, and it is a turbocharged ride. He swapped his E92 M3's raw V8 symphony for the F80 M3's turbocharged slap in the buttons. A wild shift in driving dynamics. That's all thrill, no chill. Kabir's tire tails, well, front lasts a year, rears just months. Because, well, reasons. Meanwhile, married life's got new twists. His wife, not a car enthusiast, almost met her match with the G-forces in Kabir's speed machine. But there's the hard tug I forgot to mention about in the first video. Kabir still dreams of his old E92 M3. Sure, the F80 is a rocket, but that E92, with its naturally aspirated glory, holds a very special place in his heart. The farewell was tough, a true petrol head tear-jerker. As we watch the E92 drift into memories, it's clear, for Kabir, some loves never fade.
And then finally I reached the F80. And again, a friend's car, Kunal's car. Very old friend. So I have pictures of this car with my 330i back in the days when we used to do track days together. So uske baad I have pictures of this car and videos of this car with my V8 doing donuts around this car. So it's more like manifesting, like when I used to see this car when I had my 330i, I was like, wow, ye gaadi, inline 6, twin turbo, one day I'll have it. And I'll, slide around everywhere. I'll do this, I'll do that because I'll have more power. So, and Alhamdulillah, by God's grace, today it is there. And आगे और भी होंगी शायद अगर ऊपर वाला साथ रहे तो.
The surprising part is that, I don't know, how did you feel when you had to switch from the V8 and to a V6?
Bro, no amount of power, no amount of turbos, no amount of boost can fill that void. Driving a naturally aspirated car is so much of, you can say it's smooth. You don't have those jerks, you don't have that boost coming in, leaving you alone, then you have nothing left. That is more like it's like a sequence. The power starts coming and it keeps going up. Till the time there's a lock-in, like, okay, now you have another gear. In this car, the power comes, it slaps you right, left, idhar udhar chaante padte hain, and then you're back, kuch nahi hua. So that whole age, yeah, it is there. See, this car is more scary. Because the power delivery...
And you love it.
I have to love it. Because the power delivery in a naturally aspirated car is very linear. Like, you get the power slowly and you feel like you're in control. In this car, it's like all of a sudden earthquakes aa jata hai. Like you're normally driving, you floor it and you're like it's like everywhere on the road. Till the time you don't know that what is happening and you're not used to all this, tail-friendly cars, all those tail-friendly cars, this is like it's a very bad thing to own.
And are you running a tune on this one also?
I am. I am running a Stage 1 Pro Tuning Freaks BM3 with Stage 3 transmission tune from XHP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never thought of going all-wheel drive on this one?
No, you mad? No, never. I don't want to spoil that because recently when the G80 M4 got launched, 82, sorry, they got launched. So BMW India sent the car to me. They're like, have it for a couple of days, drive it, and I drove it. It feels nothing like a BMW, like nothing like an M, because the all-wheel drive, it is switchable. You can switch it to rear wheels, but then it is not that it does not have that character.
Correct.
M scares you. That car is like a quattro, a very fast quattro. I used to take it like out on the night, in the nights, on the drives, but it was so like, you know, मतलब मैं कहा यार ये इतना ज़्यादा comfortable क्यों हूँ मैं इसमें? Even if I'm going so fast, why is this like, you know, not scaring me?
And I think that's the thing with you and to a large extent me also. I mean, I don't have a V8, but I clearly can tell you one thing, that the Wrangler also I have. It's a 2-liter turbo petrol, decent numbers, about 275, 280 horses, 0 to 100 is about 7.5 seconds. But for a Jeep Wrangler with solid axles, when you stomp the accelerator, it scares you.
It scares you. I know.
And I think that's the thing that gives me a kick.
Yeah, it's very normal. Like if you drive a Swift petrol, you'll feel it has no power. If you drive a Swift diesel, you'll feel, oh my god, you know, there's power. But technically that's slower than the petrol. But that whole game of torque that comes in and, you know, pushes you back is like, okay, there is something, you know, kuch ho raha hai.
I think it's the G-forces that fascinates us boys.
And those numbers in these cars are crazy. The turbocharged M's are like mad. Unless if you're running rear wheels, it's mad. Like literally, if I can't launch this car, the F series. I've launched it once or twice just for fun, but whenever I have to drag it, I don't launch it, because if I launch it, I am 100% losing.
Really?
There's no traction. There's no traction at all.
Even if you have if you have a stage 3 transmission tune.
Yeah, it holds, but then the tires need to hold. How much will the tires hold? I'm running a 295 section on the rear.
आप टायर छोड़ते कहाँ हो आप?
नहीं यार, फिर भी अगर इस गाड़ी में टायर छोड़ने का मतलब नहीं है. My friends keep asking me what tires we're running, and the answers they get are like, why? I'm like, because it's worth it. Anything else more than this is not worth it. Why don't you get PS4S? I was like, I'm not spending 35,000 rupees for a single tire, which will last me 2 weeks. So the guy goes like, why does it last 2 weeks? I was like, because it lasts 2 weeks. So he's like,
kabhi haveli par?
Like, okay. No, because see, people who buy these cars who are not car guys, who don't know things about these, they drive with full traction on. When it's full traction on, it is safe, but it is like you're suffocating the car.
But then why did you buy it? I mean,
and even, chalo, some people don't have the, you know, like the whole idea of sideways and all that, but still, but you're suffocating the car. It still lasts not more than, I think, 5,000-7,000 kilometers, the rear wheels. अब जब तुम उसको partial off पे चला रहे हो, that's the MDM mode, M dynamic mode, which lets you spin a little. In that, the life of the tire straight away goes down by 50%. And I drive it with full off. So life of the tire is like question mark. So my tire guy who's in Khan Market, he's like भैया आपका size जो है टायर्स का मैं मंगा के रख लेता हूँ. 10-15 टायर मैं मंगा लेता हूँ, हो जाएंगे 2-3 महीने में तो निकल जाएंगे आराम से. And he gives me very cheap tires because he knows that, you know, he runs them and he burns them, he comes back. And basically this car's to have fun. I don't want to, like, you know, go straight line at 60 kilometers per hour and do nothing.
Correct.
So even if I'm flooring it on the straight road, trying to go straight, it still keeps sliding a little. And that is eating my tires up. I have to understand this. My front tires last a year. My rear tire lasts, what, 20 days? Max.
You know, all my 4 tires, they last approximately 2.5 years.
My car doesn't last that long. My car doesn't last that long.
Fair enough.
But obviously my Thar is there. It's done 30,000 kilometers, but the tires are there. I still go off-road in it, and nothing's wrong with it. But
you know, right? Majority of us, we can't even imagine you with anything but a BMW. So the moment you said you have a Thar, it made me laugh actually.
No, but you know, it's about the place also. Now, when I'm in Kashmir, I like off-roading. So you can't take these cars there. And these cars, honestly, no matter which X7, X6, X5 you take, they can't do anything. They're like, you know, dancing on the same tire there. There you need those rough cars, Thar ho gayi, kya ho gayi.
At least, you know, even if it breaks down, it's easier on the pocket.
Even I'm just saying, you know, on that spot, even if you take Rubicons, we have few Rubicons there, just because the wheelbase is so long and they're not obviously done up. If you've done the suspension, everything, then nothing stops them. At times with Thars, we have to pull them out. Because they're big, they're heavy, short wheelbase. And the Thar only wins because they're short wheelbase. Till the time the front tire goes off, the rear tire is back on it. Short wheelbase है और कुछ नहीं है उस गाड़ी में.
Right.
That's all, and that is how it's winning. I mean, Rubicon के wheelbase के बीच में Thar आ जाएगी. ऐसा scene है.
Practically.
So it is, but if obviously you've done a Rubicon with all the suspension and everything, it will go past Thar.
हाँ,
उसके ऊपर से निकल जाएगी obviously, but see that is what, but it's budget friendly also. And
Yeah.
honestly speaking, abhi recently I went on an off-road trip. We had the first snowfall in Gulmarg and I somehow broke my front bumper
of the Thar.
of Thar.
Okay.
Because snow thi, and obviously it was about 1.5 feet of snow. I kept going, and अगर accelerator छोड़ देता तो गाड़ी रुकती तो फिर निकलती नहीं वहाँ से. So I had to keep going. It went off the track. I kept turning it back कि ट्रैक में आ जाए. नहीं आई. Finally पोल था आगे, पोल पे लगा, बम्पर टूट गया. अब पोल पे लगा तो रुकना पड़ेगा. अब निकलना है वहाँ से, निकल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. फाइनली रिवर्स डाला, वो ये करा, जोर से एक बार खींच मारा गाड़ी को, एंड इट केम बैक ऑन द ट्रैक. बट उससे क्या हुआ, जो लेफ्ट साइड में पूरी बर्फ भरी हुई थी उस पे पीछे का लेफ्ट साइड लग गया, तो पीछे का बम्पर भी टूट गया. अब उसे कह रही तो गलत हो गया सीन. चलो कोई बात नहीं. एंड टू माई सरप्राइज, फर्स्ट टाइम आई वेंट टू महिंद्रा टू गेट एवरीथिंग चेंज एंड ऑल, एंड 2 bumpers costed me $5,000. So I was like, I asked him 3 times. I was like, आगे का भी है, पीछे का भी है, सब कुछ है इसमें. He's like, हाँ लेकिन थार के बीच में वो सिल्वर होता है बम्पर का लाइन, हमने सिल्वर नहीं है, ब्लैक है पूरा. I was like, I don't want silver. Black is fine. They paint it usually. I was like, it has everything. I kept asking him. So he's like, हाँ जी भैया सब कुछ है. And I asked him again. I thought probably he's just changing the left part. You know that part. He's like, part में नहीं आता, बम्पर पूरा आता है. I was like, 2 bumper आगे पीछे का with fitting सब कुछ. He's like, नहीं fitting का 1000 रुपये extra है. I was like, okay done, no problem. So I was surprised, जितने का टैंक फुल होता है उतने का थार का बम्पर चेंज हो गया आगे पीछे का. I was like, okay, wow. So that makes sense. Now when I go off-roading, I don't even look left, right.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, chalo, कहाँ जाना है?
Correct.
That is the same time if I had a Rubicon or something, I would think 10 times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
फिर पार्ट मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा, महंगा कितना होगा.
Correct.
So that's what it's all about. It's all about this.
So a little bit about digging a little deeper into your personal life. That you are a professional hotelier. You have your own chain of hotels that you're running, and you work your ass off. I mean, pardon my language, but I'm sure many of the young guys and girls out there looking at your Instagram reels and other short videos that you keep posting, they do not have a single idea. उनको एक बहुत, I think a lot of them would be living in this myth कि यार काम भी करता है कि नहीं करता है, यही करता रहता है.
I know, right.
But I know for a fact that you are a perfect example of work hard, play hard. So on that note, how do you balance it out? How do you make sure that you're working enough or more than enough, and then then getting back into your journey with automobiles? How do you do that balance?
See, Radhya, I come from a family. My father is a self-made man. He's never had it from his grandfather or his father or whoever.
Sure.
So every now and then, and me being the youngest in the generation, like after me there's another generation. I am the youngest of the whole clan. My chachas and everyone जो भी है, and it is not a joint family, but still I am the youngest, like जितने भी चाचाओं के बच्चे हैं. So whenever I used to ask for anything to my dad, if he could give me, he would give it to me. But on that path also, he also made me realize how difficult is it to get this for you.
Yeah.
Every time I used to ask for things, I never used to see my father for months when I was a kid. Because we're into our business is travel. So we're inbound agents for India. That's our main business. So hotels and everything, this is side business. So I never used to see him for months. He used to be on trips.
Okay.
Mainly catering the European part of the country, part of the world. All the Europe, he used to have all the people coming in, seeing India. So his main work was to make people see India. Be that the mountains, be that the culture, be that everything. So every time when he used to come back, he used to tell me, like, you understand, no, why am I traveling? So that you have this life. So deep in my mind, I always knew that, someone's working hard for me to have this life. And when I grow up, I don't have to be that douchebag who's like, who most of the people I see around are doing that. So I'm like, I have to do it too. Even if I can't do something of my own, at least I have to push this, what my father is doing, to a level that, he should be happy.
True.
So obviously when dad had made such a thing that, we had to take care of it, I didn't get into something that I wanted to make anew from start and all that, And I was very, 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 lucky that I did not have to start from scratch. People nowadays think कि अब आपका है वो है, अब किसी की किस्मत में है तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते boss. I mean, if my father's made something out of it, tomorrow I'm not going to throw that away and be like, I'll make my own.
Of course.
I have to take care of it. And then there are people, अब अगर मैं चालू करता तो कल मेरे बच्चे वैसे सोचते कि बाप ने बनाया इसको छोड़ बढ़ाओ.
And I think you should also take care of it.
Exactly,
I mean,
my point.
That is given to you. Yeah?
Exactly, you have to take care of it, and it's all up to your luck. That is decided by God. I mean, God has decided who is the richest man, God has decided who's the poorest man, God has who's the middle class. So it's up to him. And you have to just play your role in this world and go back and tell him I did this.
Correct.
So when I started, my dad always knew and still knows that he is into cars. And he always used to tell me, remember one thing, he gave me 2 advices in my life. He's like, never take anything that's not yours. Number 1 in that is loan. He's like, don't work on bank's money. Don't buy things on bank's money. If you have it, you buy it. If you don't have it, don't buy it. He's like, never ever do this. He's never done it. No matter it's a car, no matter it's a house, no matter it's a small air ticket which says EMI pe le lo at times. He's like, don't buy it. So we've stick to that. We've never taken anything, on loan, EMIs, kabhi nahi. Agar 10,000 पड़े जेब में 10,000 का खाना खा लो. अगर नहीं पड़े मत खाओ. No problem. घर पे खा लो. If you want to go out, you should have money. If you don't have money, don't borrow money from people or banks or anything. So when this was always there since the beginning. So it gave me a sensibility पहले से ही कि यार काम भी करना है.
Correct.
And as I said before also that he's always given me salaries. Correct. I was never given that, the liberty to go, dig into the account and take whatever you want and then put in the kharcha. We never had that. Neither me, neither my brother. I have an elder brother, neither him, neither me.
Okay.
So it was always like, you want something, it's your salary, you take it out of it. You want anything apart from this, you ask me. So I decide if you get it or not because this shit is mine. And I'm like, yeah, it is yours, boss.
Of course.
It's not mine. And I can't tell you who to give and who not to give. It is yours. You want to give it to me, give it to me. You don't want to give it to me, no problem. I'll work for it. It was very clear.
Yeah.
Like he made sure the first time when I got the car, the 330i, when I told him, I remember कि मेरे को गाड़ी लेनी, he's like, हाँ जाओ पैसा कमाओ ले लो. So I was like, okay, fine, wow, okay, ठीक है. So the day I went to him and I was like, Dad, I've saved some amount of money. Even though it was not something that I've done, he gave me one of the hotels and said like, take care of this.
Okay.
I said, okay. I took hold of that in 2008, I think, 8 or 9. And in 2 years, I told him, Dad, I have money for the car. I want to buy the car. And he goes like, show me your accounts. So I told him, this is. So he said, okay, fine, we buy the car. And then he did not let me use that money. He paid for the car. And he's like, keep this money. You'll use it in your business. So that's how he actually made me realize that how difficult is it to buy things even after you have money.
Right.
Basically, qadar.
Yeah, qadar, correct.
So it is a myth where someone says, भाई इसके पास तो पैसा है, विजय माल्या के पास भी बहुत पैसा था, आज की डेट में कुछ नहीं है. So if you don't take care of what you have, if you don't be wise with your spending, you'll be nowhere. I'm being very honest, you'll be nowhere. Like if I know I can buy a car for example 10,000 rupees, but if I don't need it, I don't need to buy it. Every Tom, Dick and Harry these days, after the banks support them, can buy a car worth 50 lakhs.
Oh yeah.
If I don't need it, I don't want it, boss.
Correct.
It's simple, as simple as that. नहीं चाहिए तो नहीं रखना है. Just because of the half the world wants your status symbol to be like this. No, some people ask me on my live at times, what's your car garage like? How many cars? I was like, boss, I have an M3, that's it. I was like, घर की गाड़ियाँ हैं, बाकी मेरे पास गैरेज नहीं है. मैं कोई कलेक्टर नहीं हूँ, मैं गाड़ी लेता हूँ, चलाता हूँ, जितना उसको बजा सकता हूँ बजाता हूँ. I take care of it. I make sure if I'm ripping it today, tomorrow it's at the workshop getting fixed. So I rip it again day after. That's my routine. Instead of buying 3 cars and not having money to rip any of it, but just having them in my garage saying, मेरे पास 3 गाड़ियाँ, नहीं boss, I'm not like that. I would take 1 car, I'd put another car's money on that to rip it and repair it, but use it.
Okay.
That is it.
So now I know for a fact, recently you got married.
Yeah.
And I mean, God bless you for that. But
thank you,
do you think that has, I think your wife might kill me after this, but do you think this has impacted or will impact your love for cars and the way you spend time with machines?
See, I'll tell you what happened. So firstly, I am in a marriage, but she's not left her house yet. She has not come to live with me officially. Okay. So we're married on the papers. Like we're married. As per Islam, we're married. Okay. But there's a small function of bidai which happens, and that's probably going to be soon. Okay. And but I'll be honest with you, she is someone who's never been in cars. Okay. So the first time I made her sit in the car, she wanted to puke, and she couldn't sleep in the night. And honestly speaking, Aradhya, I didn't go wild. I didn't go nowhere. I was just like, we were driving in Delhi and I did a few pulls, like 2 gears, 1 gear, and that the amount of G-force that she experienced wanted her, it made her puke. Probably she puked at home, she didn't tell me, but she could not sleep, she had headache, I had to give her medicines and all that. After that I realized it's not about her impacting my life. I realized that, you have to be someone, you have to take care of that person. So I calmed down a little. Because apparently, you have to take care of someone if you're, in a relationship or you married someone, she's your responsibility for life. So I calmed myself down. I was like, you know what, boy, calm it. It's like, chill. ये नहीं हो रहा है, ये गलत हो जाएगा scene. And I made sure that she gets used to it slowly. So I made her realize that, ऐसे होता है. Then I took her, then the first video that we did, that ring exchange video, that I did donuts and put a ring in her finger, she would not stand in the middle. She's like, you're mad, you'll kill me. Then I took my nephew along. I was like, see, I'll make him stand. So because for her, it was something that she's never seen. And she's like, how can a car go round and round me and I'm there and what if you kill me? And she's someone who doesn't even drive. She's always been a backseat passenger. Like, she's like, I'm happy with my drive. I don't want it. I'm like, chalo, theek hai. But I was like, we have to do this. Nahi karna hai meko ye. So I had to show her, I had to put the ring on my nephew to show her that this is how it's happening. And it took a lot of time for me to make it.
Tell me, how many tires did you waste on that?
No, honestly, I didn't waste a lot.
I wouldn't say waste, I take my words back.
But you... No, it didn't take a lot. It didn't take a long time for me. But she's one person who understands. And she's an individual, independent woman. She runs her own business. So she knows what I'm doing. So if I tell her sometimes ki ye karna hai, it's going to do this to my page and it's my hobby, cars, I think she appreciates it. She's like, okay. Like I wanted to go on the track day. I told her, you want to come? So that was 2 days before that she had that headache for the cars. She's like, Kabir, I don't want to go there, but I don't want you to stay home. Just go, enjoy. But it's not the right time for me to go. I might not like it yet. I don't want to hate your things. I want to slowly get used to it. Then you take me to a track day. The last track day that we had. So like, works. Chalo, koi baat nahi. I took my nephew. But it did not impact me in a way that she's saying, don't do it. But I somehow feel that I should not do it to an extent now that, I have a family. Like I have someone to take care of, and then tomorrow, eventually, when you have kids, you'll go even more, cautious about things. I might as well, rather than me doing things, I might put my kid in a go-kart school and see him doing things instead of me.
Like
but I would not stop.
What our friend is doing.
Like Akshay is doing,
absolutely.
So, but you have to be careful. You have to think about things. It's not like, I understand I'm not single anymore. It's not just me. I am representing not one family, but 2 families. So nobody should be ashamed. You get my point? I don't want to land into a wall thinking that he kya kar raha tha, he should not do the stupidity. All this is good when you're in your teens and all, but eventually I have understood that once you cross 30, I mean for me, it was a drastic change.
I'm sure.
There was a time when I used to drive on the streets in the night and we would, somebody would come try to race me and all. I would drop him to his home or tell him, where do you stay? Let's go till there. I would stop him. I would be like, kahan ja raha hai, bro? You tell me, where I was like, chal. I was like, chal, chalte hain. And now it's that when I'm driving in the night, even if I'm alone, I am cruising at 60 with my music on. There'll be cars passing through me like crazy. I will not get awakened. I was like, you know what, go, fuck it. I know me.
That doesn't
But sometimes, honestly, but at times, if I see a Ferrari ripping past or a Lamborghini ripping past, that's when I'm like, okay, let me show him that. And I don't race them. I go next to them, I floor it, I show them the power, I come back. I'm like, that's it. So then the Ferrari guys who are not, obviously all the Ferrari guys mostly who have all these supercars, leaving a majority, 20% of those people know what tuning is. Otherwise they have money, they buy it. So they see a 4-door car right next to them pulling away.
Are you serious? Okay.
And they're like, okay, what is happening? Kya ho raha hai? Something is wrong with my car.
Something is not adding up.
And that's it. You just do 1 gear, 2 gear pull and you're like, okay. As I said, the pulling power is same. They might as well cross me after 200, but
possibly,
if you start from 80 to 200, we'll be like neck on neck.
Just for my knowledge, what's the 0 to 100 on this machine?
I have never done 0 to 100.
Achha, you've never measured
it's always spinning. 100 to 200 I've done. It's, I think, early sixes. 100 to 200 is early sixes. Probably.
So nobody in the past videos has actually spoken about 100 to 200. You're the first one. So
yeah, we do it on the track.
That explains your, should I say,
but
mad brain.
200 to 300 is very slow.
Okay.
After 270, this car dies. Being a small engine, 6 cylinders. But I experienced the same thing in the V8 M3. The 200 to 300 in that was quicker than this because it's a NA.
Naturally aspirated engine.
So the top end was mad.
Okay, but
It will not die.
From what I've heard is usually because of a good turbocharged engine, your top end actually is better, isn't it?
Probably the weather.
Bottom
I don't
end
know.
gets killed.
I mean, I am talking about what I've experienced myself.
Okay.
But it's probably the weather, probably the heat. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying what I felt and what I saw, what I experienced.
Okay.
But the same engines in other countries are mad powerful.
Okay.
Probably the fuel. You never know. Like,
Yeah.
kuch bhi ho sakta hai.
Correct.
You never know.
Correct.
You never know.